Are you watching all of these running videos thinking, okay, wait, what does that even mean? An easy run? Running is not easy. Threshold pace? That sounds stressful. Zone 2? Is there a map for that? If you've ever felt like running comes with a whole new language you're supposed to magically understand, I got you. Today we're breaking down all the running terms you keep hearing about but haven't fully understood yet. And by the end of this video, you'll know what all of these mean and why they matter. Easy runs, threshold and tempo, long runs and recovery runs, running drills and strides, heart rate zones including max heart rate, HRV and resting heart rate, intervals, fartlek, base training and peak training, carb loading, deload weeks, periodization, and how to use intensity and structure to actually get faster without burning out. And I'll also share the science. The mistake I made, I had 6 stress fractures, and how understanding these terms completely changed how I train and coach. So let's make running make sense. Here we go. And also, I've included timestamps below, so feel free to skip ahead to whatever section or terminology that you're looking for. Heart rate and intensity. Let's start with the core of smart training. Heart rate zones. These are based on your maximum heart rate, not your pace, and no wonder people are confused because there are so many ways to calculate them. Some methods are using max heart rate, others use lactate threshold, and some use heart rate reserve. But here's the thing, they're all trying to get at the same thing. How hard your body's actually working. Personally, I recommend using max heart rate because it's the most accessible. Most of us aren't going to pay for VO2 max test or go to a lab for lactate testing. So a simple way to estimate your max heart rate is to raise a 5K and then add 2 to 3 beats to your peak heart rate. The key is to set your heart rate zones based on your unique heart rate, because we all have a different heart rate, and using someone else's numbers or a generic age formula just won't give you accurate zones. Your heart is your most important muscle, and in endurance sports, it's also your most honest one. It doesn't care about your ego, your Strava segment, or your pace from last week. It tells the truth about how hard your body is actually working. And when we train using heart rate, we're tapping into a system that gives us real-time feedback on internal effort. And that's super powerful because pace can lie. One day, 5:30 per kilometer might feel easy. The next, because of heat, stress, or poor sleep, it might feel like a race effort, but your heart rate will reflect that change. And here's why heart rate is so effective. It helps you train in the right intensity zones for aerobic development, threshold, or recovery. It accounts for outside stressors like dehydration, sleep, and hormonal fluctuations. It allows runners at every pace to follow the same structure and get the same physiological benefits. You're also training your heart itself, improving stroke volume, so how much blood it pumps per beat, cardiac efficiency, and oxygen delivery to your muscles. And this is why elite endurance athletes often have incredibly low resting heart rates. Their hearts have adapted to pump more with less effort. Here's a quick breakdown of the 5 zones. Zone 1 is super light recovery. Zone 2 is aerobic endurance, fat burning, or conversational. Zone 3 is the gray zone, often overused. And zone 4 is the threshold, meaning comfortably hard. And zone 5 is all-out efforts. Max heart rate is the highest number your heart can reach. You can estimate it, but the most accurate way, as I mentioned before, is testing or tracking a hard effort. Mine is 197, which is naturally super high, but everyone's range is going to be different. Resting heart rate. This tells you how well your body is recovering. Lower generally means your aerobic system is well developed. HRV stands for heart rate variability. It's a more advanced recovery metric. It looks at the tiny differences between heartbeats. Higher variability usually means your body is recovered, resilient, and ready to go. Lactate threshold. This is the intensity at which lactate starts to accumulate in your bloodstream faster than your body can clear it. Training just below or at this level, around zone 4, improves your ability to sustain harder efforts without fatigue setting in as quickly. And this is what most threshold runs target: heart rate recovery. This measures how quickly your heart rate drops after a hard effort. Faster recovery is usually a sign of better fitness. For example, dropping more than 20 BPM in the first minute post-run is generally a really good sign. Heart rate reserve. This is your max heart rate minus your resting heart rate. Some training plans use this to create more personalized zones by calculating effort relative to your reserve rather than just by using max heart rate. And together, these heart-based metrics help you train smarter, not harder. And if you want to see how I build a full week of training around these zones, then check out my video called How to Craft the Perfect Running Week. I'll link it right here. Let's define the different kinds of runs. First, there's the easy run, done in zone 2. This one builds endurance without breaking you down. Then there's the recovery run. This one's even easier than easy. It's great the day after workout, but only if your body handles running well. Otherwise, rest is going to be your best friend. Then there's a long run, a weekly staple. And in my plans, we go by time on feet instead of distance. So it's scalable and safe even if you're coming back from an injury or completely new to running. And then there's base training. This is a phase where the goal is to build your aerobic engine. This means lots of zone 2, easy volume, and no pressure to go fast. Peak training. This is the most intense part of your training plan, usually 2 to 4 weeks before race day with your longest runs and hardest sessions. Periodization is structuring your training in blocks. So you have base, build, peak, taper, race, recovery. Taper is a strategic reduction in training volume and sometimes intensity in the 1 to 3 weeks before your race. The goal is to arrive fresh, not flat. A good taper allows your body to fully absorb the training you've done while maintaining fitness through short, sharp efforts. It's normal to feel weird during a taper, a little bit sluggish or restless. But remember to trust the process. This is how elite athletes avoid burnout and stay consistent year after year. I didn't periodize at first. I just went hard all the time and I got stress fracture after stress fracture. And now everything I coach is built around structured intensity and proper recovery. Okay, let's talk about some spicy terms. Threshold run. This is comfortably hard. The pace you can hold for about an hour. Scientifically, it's your lactate threshold, and it's key to running faster without getting into the red. Tempo run, sometimes used interchangeably with threshold, but can also be slightly below it. Think steady and strong. Intervals, repeats like 5 times 3 minutes or 6 by 800 meters. And these are sharper sessions that improve you to max, running economy, or speed endurance. Then there's Fartlek. It's Swedish for speed play, unstructured bursts of speed with easy running in between. It's a fun, low-pressure way to build fitness. Strides are 20 to 30 seconds of smooth accelerations at about 90% of max speed. So you start off running slower and then you gradually increase the pace until about that 90% of your max speed. And these improve form and leg turnover, especially if you're doing a lot of slow running. Running drills. High knees, A-skips, butt kicks, etc. These build coordination, rhythm, and help reinforce good running form. And I go over how to choose the right workout for your goals in this video that I'll link right here. How to choose the perfect run workout. Okay, a quick pause, because if this is resonating with you and you're thinking, wait, this is how I want to train, then I've built running plans just for you. They're based on everything I've talked about in this video, except I go one step further and I give you precise heart rate targets personalized to your max heart rate. All the training is on time so that you build endurance without burnout. And there's clear weekly guidance, meaning easy runs, threshold work, recovery, long runs, all laid out with purpose, whether you're training for a 5K, 10K, half marathon, or full marathon. I've got you covered. And you'll find the plans for 3 days, 4 days, or 5 days of running per week with built-in flexibility for cross-training, life, and real recovery. And you can check them out at the link in the description below. And if you're not sure which level is right for you, then check out my Who Is This For table. You can also message me on Instagram and I'll help you choose. Let's talk recovery, because that's where adaptation happens. Recovery week or deload week. That's a planned, lighter week, meaning less volume or intensity to let your body absorb training. I build these into all of my plans every 3 to 5 weeks depending on the athlete. Carb loading. Increasing carb intake before race day to top off glycogen stores. Carbs, a key macronutrient for runners. Think sweet potato, fruit, rice, bread, bagels, etc. All the good stuff in my opinion. It's not about eating unlimited pasta, it's about strategic fueling 2 to 3 days out, especially important for races 90 or more minutes. A quick note, fatigue isn't a sign you need to push harder. It can be a sign you need to pull back. And that's why I look at heart rate trends, sleep, and mood with all of my athletes, not just mileage. And I made a whole video on how to race at a high heart rate, even if you train at a low. And I'll link that here as well. Phew, okay. So I know this was a lot, but I hope that this video has helped you feel more empowered, not overwhelmed. You don't need to master every term right away, but just knowing the why behind each one. That's how you train with intention instead of just grinding. If this opened your eyes to a new way of training, then check out my heart rate based plans below. Whether you're running 3 or 5 or even 7 days in a row, there is one that fits your life. They're built for consistency, performance, and feeling good again in your training. Comment with a term you've heard but never really understood. And if this helped, I'd love for you to subscribe. I post weekly videos to help runners like you improve your running performance while feeling your best. See you next Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And if you want to learn how to execute a 10K race, then check out this video next.